I'm not mad, but it's just, it's tiring. Shalom, sisters. It's your sister again, Sister Ray about Yehuda Thomas, here today to talk edification and our people. So if you are new to this channel, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe and even share if you are able. So like I said, I want to talk today about edification and our people. So while you guys go ahead and grab a drink, maybe even a notepad, we'll go ahead and run the intro. So as previously stated, Shalom, sisters, and welcome back to the channel. So like I said, today we're talking about edification, and what brings me to this is a lot of what I am seeing on social media, as well as on YouTube and stuff like that, but definitely on social media platforms. So let's get right into it. The things that our people choose to share, choose to participate in, sometimes at certain stages it's cool, it's okay, because that's what's most interesting. Sometimes when you first coming into the truth, sometimes that's the hook, to really bring you in. But as you grow in this truth, you get past that. So let me stop speaking so cryptically like I'm keeping a secret from somebody. So what I mean is, like, okay, for instance, it's a long list of things. Let's start with this. Debating. Why are we still debating back and forth with people who don't even ascribe to, some don't even ascribe to the Bible? I love a good iron sharpening iron moment. I love to hear brothers and sisters bring out these scriptures. I absolutely love that. But I'm so tired of seeing street debates back and forth with people, people who just won't believe, whether it be our people, whether it be other nations, whatever the case might be. We need to get to a point where we're past that, because we have bigger fish to fry at this point, right? And I mean fish with scales and fins. Nah, but for real, we have bigger fish to fry. And bigger things going on that we need to be getting into and talking about with our brothers and our sisters, things that can edify them. Let's start talking about community. Let's start talking about community building. Outside of community building, let's talk to our brothers and our sisters about entrepreneurship, about your health, the things that we should be eating. We know the laws, but outside of the laws, like being able to understand to eat healthy, even within the ramifications and guidelines of the law. So there's so many different things we could be doing, because it's like enduring to the end has way more to do than who's going to be subjected to whom and who's going to be in slavery and all of that stuff. I don't even see why we go back and forth about any of that kind of stuff. I mean, the fact that that's still stuff that is being harped on is just crazy to me, because I'm like, we're in the actual meat of what's going on. We're in these scriptures right now, like living in the scriptures. Who has time to go back and forth about salvation is for this person, salvation is for this person? It's too much when it's like, listen, I'm gonna bring this out, and if you don't want to believe it, you don't have to. I don't have to help you to believe anything. It's written. It's already written in the scriptures. So I feel like, for just to bring it so we won't do a long discussion on just that one thing, for our brothers and our sisters who are teaching, I feel like it's more important to introduce people to the information, and then the ones who it resonates with, who wants more information, you will see that. But the back and the forth is silly, because we do it amongst each other, even believers, even Israel, we go back and forth with each other. Multiple wives and polygyny, and can we do this, and should we do that, or shouldn't we do this, or it's just time out. It's just time out for that stuff. It's not edifying anymore. There's something else that I've been coming up against, or coming and seeing a lot, on social media. The discussions about submission. Well, that's not even a discussion. You have to submit to your husband. Not only do you have to submit to your husband, but you have to submit to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Like, submission is one of those things that's just a must. We must all submit. Our husbands submit themselves into the Most High. We submit ourselves into the Most High and into our husbands. That's just how it goes. That's not a back and forth thing. But then at the same time, it's like, in the same breath that you want to bring out submission, you also want to start talking about divorce and what are the ramifications under which you can get a divorce. Why is that even in the same sentence? If you are a righteous woman with a righteous husband, divorce is not even a part of the equation. So it's more edifying to talk to sisters about doing their best and what it is to be righteous and modest and sober and chaste. Not, you're going to have to submit to your husband no matter what. Even if he's, against the laws of the Most High, you still got to commit to him. Why are we talking about Not saying that there's not a place for all of the information. Not saying that the information is not sound. Just, how is this edifying to my brother or to my sister or to myself? If we want to talk about submission, talk about submission. But don't talk about submission and then basically in a roundabout way, you basically almost making it feel like slavery, kind of ish, like, oh, you stuck. You're stuck. You married this man, you're stuck. It doesn't matter if he beat you up. This is what somebody put. Domestic violence is not grounds for divorce biblically. Why is that? How is that even edifying? So, like I said, it's just, I want us to focus on the matters that are really affecting us, which is, we are at a stage now. Who has time to sit there and debate back and forth with anybody about whether or not you want to believe, whether or not you think that this is the actual truth, whether or not it's a conspiracy? Why do we need to go back and forth with anyone? It is too many people out here in the truth. Literally, there are too many people that are awakened to the truth, and some of which are really just not sitting around and waiting for answers, but they are in a place where they want to see what's next. What's the action? Are we just going to sit around here and talk about, oh, the world is about to be in World War III. The world is coming to an end. It's like, well, before all of that happens, what are we supposed to be doing? That's what we need to be talking about. Why aren't there any communities? Why? But we got time to sit and go back and forth on the street or back and forth about Edomite this and Idumea that. We already know what's coming. And then here come Israel. Now we got to debate back and forth with each other about who is Edom. Who is Esau? Why? Why are we still going back and forth about who is Esau? That's old. That's old. I don't even want to watch your channel if that's what you talk. I don't. If that's all you want to talk about on your channel, who is Esau? What's coming to him? What else is everybody's always talking about? New Testament only, Old Testament only, just all of the other regular stuff. And I do want to interject that if you only believe in the Old Testament and not the New Testament, throw the whole life away. Because if you don't believe in the whole Bible, well, then you're lost. Of just debating back, it's just too much. And it's like, literally, we're at a point now we need to be talking about action. We need to be talking about, okay, y'all, where are the best places to live? Where are the best places to get these communities together? Who's farming? Who's doing farmers markets? Educating on herbs, educating on foraging, educating. We don't have time to be doing this stuff that we're doing, and it's not even edifying. And nobody's any closer to being ready. So what is it all about? Just for you to get out there and scream with your fringes on? It's not about that. Those fringes are there as a reminder, hallelujah, a reminder for us to keep the law, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High. We don't need to be going back. If brothers and sisters if they don't want to be on point doing whatever it is, thus saith the Bible, thus saith the Most High, sometimes you have to be like, well, I'm going to say my piece. I'm going to bring this script out to my brother or my sister in love. But again, back on the whole edification tip, even with the things that are brought out, it's not brought out in love. Even the discussions that I had, it's not had in love to actually educate or put the information out there for a brother or a sister to have so that they have time to do their research. No, it's done in a belittling way. Why? That is not what the Most High would have us to do. just the evilness sometimes, like the negative spirits that's on everybody. I don't like that either. It's just, what happened to the fruits of the spirit? Where did the fruits of the spirit go? No one's talking about the importance of the fruit of the spirit. No one's talking about the fact that every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess, that Yahweh is the Most High Yah, and that Yahushua is the King. Every knee, every single nation is going to bow down to our King. So what do we look like out here being ugly and being evil, no matter who's going to be a slave? And I don't know about you, but one thing for certain, two things for sure, I don't have time to even worry about that. Y'all excited about these slaves. I'm sitting here thinking about, I'm going to be having my brothers and my sisters around me. That's who I want around me. I want to be self-sufficient so that anybody else, they got to be subservient to anybody, can go to some of the people who want slaves. I don't want no slave. Unless the Most High, like, this person is going to be the person that's going to come work, keep the house. They'll be like the house manager and all that kind of stuff like that. But I'm like, other nations, enemies, and all that kind of stuff, I don't want that. I don't want anybody who I'm not sure. You know, I don't even see how the colonizers, the oppressors, I don't see how they even felt, you know what I'm saying, cool enough to even be sleeping on a plantation or anything like that with a whole truckload of people that's ready to dang on. Well, I mean, it was a lot more insurrections than we probably know. But yeah, I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't even want, you know, if the Most High blesses my family that way, all praises to the Most High. But that's not my main focus, and it shouldn't be yours. Some of y'all are only worried about having slaves, having a whole bunch of wives, and nobody's talking about how do we endure to the end. Physically, because it's physical and spiritual. How do we endure to the end? No one is talking about that. So I'm like, let's start edifying one another. Let's start edifying the body, the set apart assembly. Let's start doing that. We need to have more conversations about the things that matter. Esau's judgment has already been decided. It hasn't come down yet, but it already has been decided. It's along with the other nations. We don't have to, if they don't want to open up the Bible and find out, we already know. So we already are equipped. So what are we out there fussing and fighting about again? Oh, because you want to bring your brother and your sister into the truth? Oh, you do that by living. Yeah. You do that by righteous living. Those are the things that make people say what we say in the church. I yield. What must I do to be saved? That's the stuff. And another thing, now that I just said the church, the way that a lot of us so-called Hebrew Israelites act is the reason why a lot of people are staying in church, the local churches. Because they can be encouraged. They feel encouraged. They feel motivated. It's somebody coming in there Sunday after Sunday telling them you're going to make it. Telling them you got a financial blessing coming. And what we talking about all the time. Doom, gloom, slavery. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talking about all of the stuff that's going, and it's like, yeah, all of these things are going to happen, and all praises to the Most High. Absolutely. But we need to be encouraging and edifying our brothers and our sisters and letting them understand that though we can very well identify ourselves through the curses that are not only in Deuteronomy 28, but that are noted in other places in the word, we also can understand that there are instructions on how you can come out of a curse. So stop letting people speak of you. Oh, sister, we in the curses. Bro, we in the curses. I'm not cursed. Deuteronomy 28, 1-14 declares that if I obey the voice of Yahweh, my Elohim, and I do his commandments, that not only, hallelujah, not only will I be blessed, not only will the blessings come on me, but they will overtake my life. So for somebody to sit there and talk to a righteous woman or a righteous man and keep saying, oh, sis, we in the curses, that for me is almost like blasphemy. So are you calling the Most High a liar? Because the word declares something completely separate from what you're saying. The word tells me that I actually am blessed. My house, my basket, everything I do is blessed. I'm the lender, not the borrower. I'm above only So stop that. Y'all wonder why. It's edification is something that's necessary. So before this video is too long, because I literally just read something and I'm like, I need to post something. It's been a while anyway. And you know, I don't know, I might insert this other little clip in the beginning, because it has been a little minute since, you know, anything was uploaded. But anywho, you know, it's just like I said, it's edification is necessary. The fruits of the Spirit are necessary. How do we endure to the end? How do we endure to the end? This is what we need to be talking about. Communities. How do we build our communities up? Where are we going to be living? Is there somewhere that we should be thinking about moving to? These are the things that we need to be focused on. We don't have time to sit here and be going back and forth over social media. We don't have time for that. Trying to pull out script for script to try to debunk the other person's script. That's wickedness. That's wickedness. If somebody bring out a script and they misuse it, shame on them. I'm not going back and forth with you. I won't go back and forth with you. I literally refuse. That's not why I'm here. And coming into this truth, I definitely didn't come into this truth to be having to go back and forth with anyone and debate. To be quite honest, a lot of our women need to step away from all of the debating and stuff too. Because a lot have lost their femininity. They have lost the things that make us just indispensable in the kingdom. The Most High created us to have emotions. He created us to be soft. He created us to have that femininity. That's what he created us for. So why do we need rough women and rough men? We don't need that. We need to get back to the way that the Most High would have us to be. And that comes with staying focused and worry about you. That's what you have to do. Not sit there and harp on everything that the next person. So anyway, family, like I said, I hope that this didn't come off too bad, like a terrible rant. Because I don't mean it in that way. You know, I'm just up here because I want us to be able to be encouraged and empowered to edify one another. To be okay with the fact that there are some things that we find out we want to get off our chest, and I understand that. But there's a time and a place for everything. And I've only been in the truth since 2020. And it's old to me. It's people who've been in the truth years and years and years and years, way longer than me. And this is all you're still doing, going back and forth about Esau. Like I literally love watching like street ministry and stuff like that. But not, hey, brother. Hey, brother, can I talk to you for a second? Hey, brother. And then, the brother don't want to talk. I'll go up the street. But here comes, a stranger. Oh, can I talk? Oh, you got something to say? Oh, okay. Oh, what's your nationality? Oh, are you YT, or are you Irish, or blah, blah, blah? Oh, you're this, oh, you're that. Okay, how do you feel about what happened to the blacks, Native Americans, and the Hispanics on this land, and da 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 da. Like, why are we even asking them that? A lot of them don't care. So what? We don't need that. We do not need that at all. We don't have to prove anything. We don't have to say anything. And if people feel like, oh, well, Romans 11 and the grafting in and all this stuff like that, if you feel like that you one of the ones that's going to be grafting in, okay. I'm not about to go back and forth with you about it. If you feel like that you're going to be saved just because your life might be spared, if you think this being spared and salvation is the same thing, have at it. I'm not gonna stop you. If you say I'm gonna praise the Most High. If you want to praise the Most High, praise Him. If you say, oh, I'm saved, everybody can be saved. He said the world. He means everybody. If that's what you want to think, bet. If you feel like that scripture is saying that He came to give salvation to the whole world, okay, cool. Because like I said, the one thing that we can say, no matter what, is every knee shall bow and every tongue is going to confess. So with that being stated is, if you want to be a quote unquote spiritual Israelite, which is written nowhere in the Bible, cool. Nowhere in the word does it talk about a spiritual Israelite. That's not a thing that's written about. Blessings. Be spiritual. Be spiritual Israel. Keep the commandments. So what we have to do as a people is stop jumping on everybody. Oh, they wearing fringes. Let them keep the law, because when it's all said and done, everyone will have to keep the law and bow to our Elohim. That's what's to come. Every single person who endures to the end, your knee is going to bow. Your tongue is going to confess. You're going to be given reverence and praise and servitude unto our Yah. Literally. So we don't have time to nitpick about these things. We have bigger things to be thinking about. Now that we know that there are brothers and sisters who are awakened to this truth, we need to be working that. We need to be strengthening that muscle. We need to do that. The back and the forth, those days are over. It's a zillion YouTube videos where they can see the back and forth. They can do that back and forth. We don't have to do that. We need to get about our Father's business. We need to be educating one another. Sisters need to be reaching out to sisters. Brothers need to be reaching out to brothers. We need to be literally coming together. That's what we need to be doing. That's what time it is. It is not time to still be out here on the street corners going back and forth about silliness. We need to be talking about stuff that's edifying. And though I can see the frustration rising, because I don't mean it like in an anger frustrating way, because I'm not mad, y'all. I love y'all. I'm not mad, but it's just it's tiring. It's enough is what it is. It's kind of like when you talk to your child, like you don't hate them, you're not mad, you're just like, it's enough of that. It's over for that. So y'all hear me, and please hear my heart. Stop. Edify your brother, edify your sister. And let's start talking about the business of the kingdom, because that's what's at hand. Okay? That's what's at hand. The kingdom of Yah is at hand. This is important. Going back and forth on the street corner about you a Edomite and you a this and that, and we don't have time for that. If they don't want to pick up a book and find out, and a lot of people know what's going on. Your job, if you're really out there to be waking up the brothers and the sisters, then be out there waking up brothers and sisters. You don't have time for the silly stuff. Enough of that. And shame on you if you're still doing it. And I'm gonna say it like that. Because what good is that doing? That's not doing any good. Literally, even sometimes with the brothers and the sisters, Israel, you going back and forth with them. I say my piece, and if people want to take it, take it. If you want to leave it, leave it. It ain't mine. It's the Most High's word. I didn't make this up. I didn't make the rules. But all of this, like I said, back and forth and all these things that we have going on, it's just not edifying, and as a whole. So I said all that to say, I love you, brothers. I love you, sisters, because I'm saying this because I know that we do have brothers who tune in as well. Sisters, I love you. Sisters, before I sign off, I want to make sure that I drive home this point one more time. Edify one another. Brothers who are watching, edify one another. Sisters, if you want to teach each other and stuff like that, blessings on blessings. Hallelujah. We need the information. The younger sisters, older sisters, mamas, aunties, sisters, we need this information. We need to rally around one another, and we need to equip each other, help to encourage each other to be equipped with the word of the Most High. That's what we need. But what we don't need is almost like backhanded compliments. Like, we don't need these backwards ways of like these weird subliminal messages. Like, if you're talking about submitting unto your righteous husband that the Most High has blessed you with, I don't want to hear anything else about divorce. I don't want to hear that in the same sentences. That's ridiculous. Because a righteous man knows what he's supposed to do according to the word. And if he's not doing what thus saith the Most High, shame on him, because he will be judged and he will be dealt with severely. Same with a woman to her husband. Same with children to their mothers and fathers. Not saying don't teach. Teach. Start your teaching and your charity and your love at home. Start there before anybody want to run out to the street. Before anybody want to run to Facebook and social media. Before you start running out to all these different places, run downstairs, or run, if you have a flat level, run to the next, to your main family room, and crack open those Bibles and apocryphas and your notebooks. Pull out your pens and your highlighters and your gel pens and your markers and your colored pencil, all of that stuff. Start there before you get so ready to jump out here on every other platform, because that's really what you see. Get on TikTok, Hebrew TikTok, Hebrew Talk, you know what I'm saying? Facebook, YouTube, everything is somebody on a platform, on a soapbox, going back and forth, debating about this, debating about that. And nobody's talking about, y'all, this is what area is popping. This is what country to live in. This is what area to be in. This is how you start growing, you know. This is how you can start getting your hands. This is how you get your hands, not dirty, but this is how you basically get started in developing your green thumb. And, this is how this is supposed to be done. And, talking about that kind of stuff. And that's not what's going on. It's this close to the supposed end, which I'm not saying supposed is, and I don't believe. But, we're getting so close. We're in the literal last days, and y'all still want to go. You still think that it's beneficial and profitable for us to be going back and forth about who is Esau and who's not? Who's Israel? Who's Israel? What are our instructions? What should we be doing? Where should we be living? What are we supposed to do when we have a baby? Where are the Israelite midwives? Where are the Israelite nurses? Where are the Israelite men that can perform circumcisions? What are we supposed to do with our placenta? How are we supposed to handle all these different things? What are the rules and regulations? What are the ancient things that we did? What did our women do? Since we know we're not supposed to, uncover each other's nakedness. We know we're not supposed to be messing with blood and stuff like that. So if y'all want to dig deep and you want to be going off about any 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 things, there's a long list right there that I just gave of stuff that y'all can start looking into and talking about. That kind of stuff is important. Community building. What will we be doing in the communities? Who's going to be teaching? Who has a homeschool? Who knows how to create curriculums? Y'all, this is what we need to be doing. It really makes me emotional because we are in the end. We are in the end, y'all. And we don't have time to be playing these games. The time is for real for us. For us to be focused on what it is that the Most High would have us to do, y'all. How can we endure to the end physically? Because it's coming. It's coming. A lot of it's already here. For real. And we sit here going back and forth about nonsense. And there's a million videos on YouTube about this same stuff. We need to be talking about what we gonna do and how we gonna do it effectively so that we can endure to the end. Y'all, I love y'all. And we gotta do better. So with that being said, y'all, shalom.